10.3 Part 2. Now we're actually getting into the nitty-gritty of 10.3, which is triangles. So a triangle is called triangle ABC, and we label each side with a lowercase letter to match the uppercase letter of the opposite vertex. So guys, you'll see the vertex A here, side A is across it. Vertex B here, side B is across it. Vertex C here, side C is across it. So the vertices are capital letters A, B, and C, and the sides are lowercase a, lowercase b, and lowercase c. For any triangle ABC, the sum of the measures of the interior angles is 180. That is the measure, that's what the little m means, measure of. And then we have this little symbol angle. So the measure of the angle A plus the measure of the angle B plus the measure of the angle C equals 180 degrees. So the measure of two angles of a triangle are 31 and 128. Find the measure of the third angle. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to add 31 plus 128 plus the missing side x, because if it's a triangle, it has three angles, right? And we have to set this equal to 180 degrees because the interior measures sum to that. So when I add this up, 31 and 128, I get 159 plus x equals 180. Now I'm going to isolate x. In order to do that, I have to remove anything that is around x. We see the 159, so I'm going to subtract off of both sides. So when I do that, I get x equals 180 minus 159, which will give me 21. So the third angle, the measure of it is 21 degrees. Okay? All right, so the next one says, find the measure of the missing angles. I talked about this in the first video, that if you have a box into something, that means it's a 90-degree angle. This is called a right angle. In particular, because this is a triangle, it's called a right triangle. Okay, it's asking us to find the missing angle. The missing angle is x. So what I'm going to do is going to add 80 plus 90 plus x and set that equal to 180 degrees. 80 plus 90 will give me 170 and plus x, and it equals 180 degrees. Now I have to isolate x, meaning getting it by itself. So I'm going to subtract 170 off of this side and pull it over the other side. X equals 180 minus 170, which is 10 degrees. So x measures 10 degrees. Okay, this next one I want to introduce you to what's called an isosceles triangle. Isosceles have two sides that are of equal measure and two angles that are of equal measure. So this is called isosceles. And I always spell it wrong, so give me a minute here. Okay, isosceles. All right, so again, two sides are of equal measure and two angles are of equal measure. So what I'm going to do is add x plus 42, and that has to sum to 180 degrees. Now I have to combine like terms. Because I have x plus x equals 2x. So I have 2x plus 42 equals 180. Now I'm working on isolating x. So what I'm going to do is subtract 42 off of both sides. So 2x equals 180 minus 42. When I do that, I get 138. Now my next step is to divide off that 2. And when I do that, I get x equals 138 divided by 2, which is 69 degrees. So both of the isosceles interior angles are going to equal 69. And by the way, you can check yourself to see if you're right, because I could add 69 plus 69 plus 42, and when I do that, that should sum to 180, which it does. Okay, let's look at this next one. Find the missing angle. This turned out kind of weird, so I'm going to rewrite it. So angle A is equal to x plus 25, and angle B is equal to x minus, excuse me, no it's not, it's 2x minus 1. So if your notes imported into your good notes or Notability weird, this is what it's supposed to say. Okay, find the missing angle. Again, we have a right triangle. We have a right angle, which is 90 degrees. So I know that A plus B plus 90 has to sum to 180. Now remember, A is x plus 25. And B is 2x minus 1 plus 90 equals 180. So all I did was substitute in wherever I see A, I substituted in x plus 25, and wherever I see B, I plug in 2x minus 1. So I'm going to take the parentheses off. So I have x plus 25 plus 2x minus 1 plus 90 equals 180. Now I have to combine like terms. Okay, x plus 2x is 3x. And now I get 25 minus 1, which I'm going to put plus 24. And then I'm going to put plus 90 here, and I'll fix this in a second. So I'm still working on combining like terms, and since I can add 90 and 24 together, when I do that, I get 114. So I get 3x plus 114 equals 180. Now, I'm working on isolating x. Okay, so I'm going to take and remove the 114 off of that side. And when I do that, I subtract 114. So I get 3x equals 180 minus 114, which is 66. Okay? Now x equals 66 divided by 3, which is 22. Okay, I'm not done though because it said find the missing angles. So the measure of angle A is x plus 25. I found x to be 22. So 22 plus 25 equals 47 degrees. So that's the measure of angle A. The measure of angle B equals 2x minus 1. So 2 times 22 minus 1. 2 times 22 is 44. Minus 1 will give me 43 degrees. Again, if I add 47 plus 43, I'll get 90, and 90 plus 90 should give me 180, and it does. Okay, that's going to be the end of 10.3 part 2, and we'll pick up here with 10.3 part 3. So we'll talk about classification of angles by side and angles.